Yesterday I talked about what I would do if I had a ton of money about the homeless problem. Well, really, here's the solution, what the government needs to do. Because in reality, people think that it's poverty is why we have a huge homeless problem, which some of it is. Some of it is that people are broke, they came on to hard times, they got injured, they lost everything, they went bankrupt, maybe a natural disaster happened. Yeah, some of them are like that, but the vast majority of them that are living in tents on Skid Row are on drugs, and that is the problem. The fact that our government lets people sleep on the sidewalk in front of businesses, the fact that they allow that to happen is absolutely absurd to me. Our cities should be absolutely breathtaking. If we are one of the greatest countries in the world, if like one of the greatest country, whatever, or the richest country, which we're not, why are our cities in such utter decay? You should go down to the city and feel safe. You should go down to the city and it should be a pleasant experience. You shouldn't have to worry about being robbed or mugged or panhandlers. I don't give money to people who beg for money. And why I don't is because I'm not going to enable their bad habits. Yeah, somebody's going to come up to me smoking cigarettes and ask for money. No. I work hard for my money. And I really don't have any money to give out to begin with, honestly. And I would love if I was blessed like these wealthy people where you had like excesses of resources where you can help a lot of people, not just give money away, but build infrastructure and donate money to people to help educate other people to better themselves, because a lot of people have mental illness here in America, and that is a huge reason why they turn to drugs. Some of it is, they got hurt, they were prescribed pain pills, their body adapted to the pain pills, so they take more and more. Then they went to heroin because it was cheaper. That's part of it. Some of it's emotional issues, horrible childhoods, sexual abuse when they're growing up, crazy lack of a good father figure. I think that's a huge thing. So what I would do, and what the government should do, this is the solution, is, well, we need to make camps. And when people say, oh no, he's gonna make concentration camps. No, these are reform camps. there's a lot of people in prison that shouldn't be there. The prison doesn't reform anything. Well, these camps should be set out in the middle of nowhere. There need to be places where, there could be some in the desert. There could be some that's like, there's not any civilization like within like 30 miles of these camps. And this is where you round up. Why? Oh, you're rounding them up. No, sorry, man. You can't. If you're not contributing to society, you are a parasite, and you need somewhere to go. These camps are self-sustaining camps, and they will get the people off of drugs. There won't be any drugs there, like shipped there. They will reform people, and if you choose to not, partake in your reformment, working, you're not just gonna, obviously if somebody's like on a hard drug, they can't work, but like, that's a part of the thing, is you have to contribute to the community, because it's a community. It's not a forced slave camp like Germany did. No, you work to sustain the community of what you're part of, and that's what it is. It's a community. And the goal is to reform people so we can get these people back into civilization. And there needs to be like more like halfway houses, and like a part of society where they can come back to society. Or if they pass the programs, they could stay there and be like a counselor. You know what I mean? It's like they're given options, and if you're not trying to better yourself, then, and you refuse to work, to do anything, you don't want to try to better yourself and reform yourself, then they get shipped to, I don't know, somewhere else that's like another I guess like a type of prison place or something like that. Like these people are just genuinely don't want to do, like no, you know what they should do is they should just be banished to, there should be some type of place that people cannot go to, like an island, like no escape, that, okay, you refuse, then we're exiling you from society. You're not trying to better yourself. We're giving you all the opportunity to better yourself. You can't sit here and just be homeless in our cities, in our towns, not contribute anything to society. Just do drugs, commit crime. We don't have any need for you, man. So if you don't want to be a part of a productive society, then we're just gonna exile you. And this island, whatever, man. You're not our problem. I think that's kind of like what they used to do to people. The UK did with like Australia. They just exiled their prisoners there. And it sounds brutal, inhumane, but you know, how is it fair to everybody else who pays taxes, who works hard because they want to live in a safe, productive society? What about them? You don't want to be a part of a productive society, and I know it sounds very authoritarian. Well, it's not really, because if you want to be free, well, go be free on this island. Freedom is, you know, you're going to have to, you know, perhaps before they get banished to the island, they get sent to another camp where they learn basic survival skills. And if they refuse that, then fuck them. Like, that's how it has to be, man. We can't. If people refuse to better themselves, we can't just keep holding on to them. They're not benefiting themselves. They're not benefiting anybody else. They just want to be a detriment to society. Oh, because they were born here. Well, you're not contributing anything, man. Oh, man, I can't do the gym today. I gotta go to work and my foot's all messed up. So like, yeah, that's what they should do with these people who are homeless. I mean, they should get a lot of opportunities before we cast them out into the freedom that they want. You can't just live in a tent in a city, taking drugs, committing crime, and expect, like, you're impeding on other people's freedom. You're impeding on other people's rights. If your rights impede on other people's rights, then that's a fucking problem, man. Our government officials are absolutely, most of them are horrible people. They, you know, the media, the celebrities, they like to virtue signal. They like to act like they're doing something nice. Oh, let's just bring everybody over here in America. So like, if I go to another country, I have to have a passport. You know, we have laws. Every country has borders. I mean, it would be nice if we did it and we can just like coexist. And at some point we might be able to. But as of right now, the cultures are so different with other human beings that if we just like completely bombard, just throw all these cultures together, like massive, like that's bad, dude. That's a huge recipe for violence, because a lot of these cultures just are completely different than the other ones, and they have different beliefs. You can trickle other cultures in where they start assimilating to other people's cultures, but if you throw a mass amount of people, like what's happening in Italy. There's this island where I guess 7,000 migrants, illegal aliens, have came onto this island where there's 6,000 people who live there. They're overrunning that. They're gonna take over the territory, and there's gonna be a lot of crime. So they're just gonna start taking the people's stuff who live there. And that's what they're trying to do here in America. Our federal government is ignoring federal laws when it comes to the border and just allowing people to come over here. There's a little mini city. It's like got 70,000 people. I think it's somewhere in Texas, maybe a little bit north of Austin, of all illegal immigrants. It's just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the Democrats act like they are people of high moral value, but they only care about these people because, like, basically they bring them over here, they let them come over here, give them free stuff, and they want them to vote because they know, oh, we're gonna give you free stuff. They're gonna vote for them. And that's unsustainable. The Democrats are trying to gain ultimate power. That's what they're trying to do. They're very authoritarian. They don't care about the rights of the American citizen. They don't care about the fact that I pay taxes. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Well, if the federal government aren't going with the laws, they're ignoring laws. They're locking people up because of their speech. They're ignoring the own laws that they've created when it comes to immigration. You know, the Texas is like, dude, we're being overrun, man. We're being completely overrun over here, and they're trying to like set up buoys and in the Rio Grande so people can't swim across. And the federal government are like, no, you can't do that. Dude, what they want is, they want Texas. They want them all to go to Texas, but they don't want them to go to New York or any of these other places. They want them to go to all these red areas. They're essentially human trafficking for power. They're using my hard-earned money. They're using our kids, not just your hard-earned money if you're an American citizen who pays taxes. They're using your kids' future to try to gain complete power and control. Completely screwing us over. It's unsustainable, and it's not going to work. It's like they're like throwing Hail Marys. But let me ask you a question, federal government. If you don't follow the laws, why the hell should I? And that's the problem, is if I'm not a Democrat or a leftist, I have to follow the laws and be a law-abiding citizen. But if you're on your side, you can do whatever the hell you want. We're not held by the same standards. So why, like, this is why federal government, I don't trust you people. I have no faith in your leadership. Rules for thee, but not for me. It's you are causing the problem, man. What was his name? Garland, or I don't know. The head of the DOJ. He's actively working for the elites, the party, the New World Order. He's not working for us, but we pay his salary. He's supposed to be protecting, he's supposed to be doing things in the interest of America. How is allowing all these people coming here illegally and not doing anything about it working for us? How am I supposed to trust you people? You know, and what you want is people like me, hardworking, law-abiding citizens, to act out in violence. So you can be like, look, they're violent. But the problem is, here's the problem. You're the one that's causing it. Because if it's somebody like me, you look like somebody like me, you look at their past record, how somebody like me has worked and contributed to the system their whole life. They've been a law-abiding citizen, and they see what you're doing with the country, and you're just stealing from us, devaluing our dollar, letting anybody here and giving them our stuff. And you don't see how that can't piss people. You're pushing people to act out in a violent way. You're the cause. You're the root cause. It's your actions. Because you are committing war. You, federal government, are committing war on your own people. And listen, if you're watching this, I've said this a ton of times, do not act out in violence. Do not act out in violence. We need to try to work with what's left of the system as much as we possibly can to try to stop people like, was it something Garland? Stop Joe Biden. Stop these Democrats from trying to destroy our country. We need to do this peacefully, legally. And what's crazy is nobody's going to believe the election. Nobody believes any election. The last couple elections. I mean, they're eventually going to get what they want, but they will act out in violence first. Like, these people who are for the federal government will act out in violence because they have nothing left to lose. If they lose power, if people who are in charge of the federal government lose power, they know they're going to jail. They're going to go to prison. They're going to be investigated, which they should. These people aren't held accountable at all. Like, think about this. These people cheat. These people cheat to win. They care more about collecting money from their donors than doing their job. These politicians. They're so lazy. They just want to pass through these big and massive omnibus bills so they can vote on it like one time, not even read it, instead of going through the budget and like, okay, we need this, we don't need that, let's trim the fat here. No, if you don't vote for this, you hate poor people. You hate veterans. That's what they use. They use They put a little, they have a little thing in there for like veterans or something, and this huge bill that has nothing to do with helping the veterans, and they pick that part out and like, oh, you're not helping the veterans out. No, you put all this other crap in here, and that's why I'm voting against it. Well, you're a bad person. It's absurdity. Government officials aren't held accountable. We're supposed to be in charge of these people, but they give themselves raises. I think that these people should make the federal minimum wage. All these politicians, anyone who works for the government, federal minimum wage. You expect us to live off of that. I want to see you live off of that. I want to see you go grind it out and but they won't. These people they see what's going on behind the scenes, and then they can invest before it happens. Oh, the government's gonna invest in this AI company? Well, let's invest before it happens, because they see the date. They get a cheat, man. It's like shooting fish in the barrel for them. People are corrupt. They work for the lobbyists. They work for the corporations. They don't work for the people.